it's more important to know and understand God's heart than we know. Sometimes our lives, our kindness is the only gospel some people will ever hear. Our life and our deeds is the only gospel some people will ever hear. Everybody that we touch, whether it's at the mall shopping, whether it's at work, whether we're just walking in the park, every single person that we touch needs to see the Jesus that's inside of us. Even the mean ones, even the bullies, they need to see the Jesus that's inside of us. I'll close with one last story. There was me and about five guys. We're on our way to Alton Bay, New Hampshire. And we're in a small minivan. We're going to a men's retreat. So on the way there, we was like, oh, hey, let's get some food. Nelson was there. I'm not sure if Chinu was there. We was like, Brandon was definitely there. He was like, let's get some food before we get there, because once it's a 2-hour drive, once we get there, everything's going to be closed. So we pull over, I think somewhere around South Bay, someplace around there. We pull over, and then we go into a little restaurant. We start eating. We actually, while we're walking in, we see a guy. He's in old, beat-up clothes, old guy, and he's begging for change. He has a sign. So I hear, go invite that guy in for some food. All right. Went outside. Hey, mister, you want some food? He's like, I can eat. He comes right inside with us, sits down on the table. We have a nice dinner. We eat, and we must have been there for like 45 minutes hanging out. And then, now it's time to leave. The guy's eating right there with us. It's time to leave. We all pack in the car. And then as we sit in the car, we're about to pull off. The guy goes back to his post with his sign. So then I hear, go and invite him to go with you. I'm like, okay. I go outside. Say, this is going to sound strange, but us guys, we're going up to Alton Bay, New Hampshire. We're going to go have a men's retreat, and we'd like you to come along. He goes, let me check my schedule. Okay, I'll be there. We finally get there. We get to the Alton Bay. First thing was like, there's a shower over there. So we sent him in. He took a shower. I think Nilton gave him some pants. Pastor Basil gave him a sweater. And somebody else gave him some undershirt, things like that. And he went in, came back maybe like 2 hours later, but he was sharp. I'm talking, he had shaved, he had slicked his hair all back, and he was wearing nice clean clothes. It was like, is that the same guy? So he came. We had an awesome weekend. So we ate, we did Bible study. He was in there the whole time. And he was just like one of the guys. It's like he's been there the whole time. So then it's the last session before we come back. He gets up. He actually started crying at the time. He said, I just came out of jail for attempted murder. There I was, hopeless, alone, afraid. And then these few guys just come and welcome me in, not caring about my past and showing me so much love, not caring about my past, not caring about who I am and how I smell, and welcome me in with open arms. Now this guy was going on and on explaining. He said, I've never in my entire life knew what love was until this trip right here. It's the first time he experienced love. From a very young boy growing up, he says, the first time I'm experiencing what real love is. So we're on our way back. We're past his exit. So we get out on the exit. It's like, so what's next for you? He's like, well, I'm just going to go back to my thing. But now he has his all cleaned up. He had his hair still slicked back. He'd been eating all weekend. And he had some extra food in the bag that we didn't finish. And then he's about to get outside the car. I hear, take him home. Now, I'm a single guy at the time, and I live with another brother. And then I just heard, take him home. I was like, would you like to come home with us? He goes, let me check my schedule. Oh, okay. So he rides right on home. At the time, I lived in Randolph. And we gave him a room. I moved somewhere else and gave him a room, gave him some space, gave him some of his blankets, everything. And he got a job right up the street. And then he'd go to work faithfully every week. And at some point, he moved out, came up to Boston. We bumped into him somewhere. I think it was a church we were in Boston. He came by, he said, I'm the assistant pastor at this such and such church over there. I'm the assistant pastor of a church. See, kindness, it's not something we do. It's who we are. It's the evidence of the kingdom at work inside of us. Kindness is a powerful weapon. It's also the power of God inside of us. Never pass up an opportunity to show somebody kindness. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need an extra apartment. It's looking out for the opportunities. As they come, God will position you in those opportunities. It might be a little word that you say. It doesn't cost you a dime to say something. It might be a grocery that you pay. You see a lady with 5 kids around her, and you have an extra $50 in your pocket, and she can't pay, and you pay the grocery for her. I can't tell you you're going to get a blessing right there that day. I can't tell you you're going to get 10 times that $50 later on. But I will definitely tell you is God sees it. And God records it. And God takes great pleasure when we extend ourselves on behalf of those who don't have. And we extend ourselves on behalf of those who are dark, those who are lost and afraid. He takes notice. And not only does it change the person, not only is it life-changing for that person, but it changes us also every single time. Little by little, we're getting refined and shaped and molded into the image of Christ with every single act of kindness that we do.